What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We're back at you with another one. This one is going to be meeting Miami Dolphins outside linebacker Cameron Goode, who was selected this year in the draft in the 7th round. I'm going to tell y'all why I believe he's going to make the roster this year. A lot of people saying this is a camp body and will maybe get on the practice squad. I beg to differ whenever you really look at the situation of the team. We're going to talk about why he has a great chance of actually making a 53-man roster. Not only that, we're going to talk about all the details about him, some of the things that he accomplished, who he is, where he's from, all that good stuff. But meet Cameron Goode. Make sure you hit the like button on your way in. Let your friends and family members know about the channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to TDPHINSTALK. Shout out to the mod squad. Shout out to all the subscribers. Shout out to the members of the channel. Brandon Hudgens, I see you already in here. Von Joe, what's up, homie? EM Baller, Tuish Trash in the building. Clemente, 3472 in the house. Michael Simmons, the homie, always rocking with us. And Meyer Justice, man, thank you for being present with us on this great stream. Listen, I hope everybody's having a great day. Like I said before on the last stream, here's an update from the last stream. Travis Wingfield just posted on Twitter Mike Dieter's words from being interviewed today. Dolphin center Mike Dieter on his confidence and his ability at center now compared to a year ago at center position. This is what Mike Dieter had to say. I'm a lot better, taking a lot more reps, a little more experience. There's a lot more growth to have, but I'm definitely a lot more confident this year. That's what we want to hear. Just talk to y'all about our offensive line situation and what our real plan is. If you haven't watched that video, go check it out. We just dropped it less than 3 minutes ago. So make sure, well, less than 5 minutes ago, because we already been on the stream for 4 minutes. So stickler. Anyway, sorry, y'all. But make sure you go check out that video because there's been a lot of speculation about Connor Williams potentially playing center. We talk about all of that to give you the facts of the matter and what's really going on in that situation. All right. So go check that video out and make sure you hit the like button and share it as well. All right. So on to Cameron Goode. All right. We're talking about an outside linebacker drafted in the 7th round at 224th pick overall. This guy comes from a 3-4 system. That's what we're going to be running in Miami. The 3-4 system. We run it for the last few years. And he comes into a familiar system that he just knows how to play in, all right? Now, he's a 6'3", 237-pound outside linebacker. He runs a 4.63 in the 40 dash. One thing I want to say about this kid just up front, he is a humble and hungry guy. You know, we always hear that about guys, but this is definitely one. And I love that about him. Miami loved it so much that they actually met with him during the pre-draft process. He was one of the guys that they brought in because they coveted him. So when you bring a guy in the pre-draft process, you're not just bringing him in just to, hey, let me bring him people in. No, it's guys that you really are considering getting, and you want to get to know them on a personal level, how they interact with you, their mannerisms, how they conduct themselves, you know. And he say he loved the visit, and obviously the Miami Dolphins did too because they selected him. All right. Now he plays the Sam. Okay. You know, the Will, the Sam, he plays the Sam. Same as Jalen Phillips. Okay. He plays the Sam just like Jalen Phillips. All right. Let me ask y'all a question. Who's Jalen Phillips' backup? Who's Jalen Phillips' backup? Anybody? Anybody want to raise your hand? Anybody want to put it in the comment section? Who's Jalen Phillips' backup? Oh, we don't have one. Oh, there is none. That's why it's an easy guess that he has a good opportunity to make the roster. Not saying he will, but he has a good opportunity to make the roster. As of right now, since we haven't brought in a veteran edge rusher, I know we've been out looking in the market, brought people in for visits, but no deal has been inked. And also, when you truly look at the guys that we brought in guys that are pass rushers. Most of the guys don't play the true Sam position, drop out, and all of that, and coverage and everything. So there is no backup. There is no backup to Jalen Phillips, ladies and gentlemen. He's the backup. That's why you draft him. That's exactly why you draft him, because you get an opportunity to develop him. Now, I want y'all to keep this in mind as well. I don't know if you noticed this last year, but Jalen Phillips isn't an every down edge rusher. We did not deploy Jalen Phillips on every down. He was not an every down pass rusher. It was a guy that we had packages and situations for and third downs and things of that nature. That's what Jalen Phillips primarily played. I mean, he wasn't a 100% rep guy. He wasn't an 80% rep guy. I got to go check what the reps were, but they were lower. So the way they utilize the Sam, they don't use it as much as people think. So you still need a backup, but it's still a position that we don't use as much. Jalen Phillips is going to get about every rep that is to be earned in that position. But in the event that Jalen Phillips go down, you want to still be able to utilize that position instead of changing up how you operate your defense. And that's why they knew they needed to pick up a guy who's versatile in that area and has the potential to play that role. So that's what this was really about. He could, like I told y'all, he can be deployed on it. See, here's the thing. Most football fans, they hear we drafted a linebacker and they're just thinking about those three guys that sit there. No, I mean, this is your edge. This is your edge linebacker. He rushes the quarterback. He could drop back in coverage. And his main job is to set the edge on run plays. Okay? Set the edge on run plays. That is the one thing that this kid does very well. Not the one thing. He does several things well. But one of the best things he can do is set the edge. And he did it quite a bit in college, to the point to where in his pre-draft analysis, this was one of the main things his college coach said about him when asked about him. He's excellent in setting the edge. All right. He's a smaller guy at the DN position, but at the same token, that's what that position is now at the Sam linebacker. It's your slender, faster guys that's coming after the quarterbacks. And his ability to set the edge, he's very physical, athletic, and also his college coach said he has the potential to transition to the inside as well if necessary. I don't think the dynamic of this team will utilize him in such fashion unless Tyndall or and the rest of those guys just are bombing it. So expect for him to be primarily on the edge. Now, this is a guy that has tons of collegiate experience. He actually has 6 years college experience. I know some of y'all who don't understand are like, how is that possible? It's called redshirting and all of that stuff. Okay. Where you redshirt 2 years and you play 4, however the mix is, it is possible. Okay. So basically he was at California between 2016 and 2021. He had 37 starts, but again, I know a lot of these players now have a low start count, but it's because they're pandemic collegiate players, collegiate pandemic players or whatever. Okay. One of the seasons he only had 4 games because they shut down. So a lot of these guys, they're in the middle of that situation, all right? In his career, he compiled 21 and a half career sacks, led the team in sacks each of his last 3 years. He was the sack leader on his team the last 3 years that he played. 36 and a half tackles for a loss. That tells you he sets the edge, and on run plays, he's getting in that backfield. Tackles for loss. These aren't sacks. Tackles, he already got 21 and a half sacks. But tackles for loss, 36 and a half. So I want y'all to think about that. When you put the sacks and the tackles for loss together, that's 58. 58 times he did damage in that backfield. 58 times. Tackle for loss or a sack. So he's definitely, his nose is all up in it, okay? Now, as a senior, he compiled 7.5 sacks, which made him second in the Pac-12. He was second team all Pac-12 honors that year. And the year before in 2020, he only played 8 games, but he had 8 tackles for loss in those 8 games, which made him second in college football, averaging 2 tackle for losses per game. Some people would think that, 2 tackles a loss a game, and that's second in college football. Yeah. I mean, y'all think these defensive beasts be all up in the backfield tackling people all day? No, tackle for losses are actually more rare than people know. They're more rare than people realize. It's not easy to get tackle for losses. Even your best defensive tackles and defensive ends, and they literally be having like a 1.3 tackle for loss average per game. This kid had a 2 tackle per loss average per game, second in college football. So he has the accolades. He's a playmaker. He's a guy who has a knack of getting in the backfield, disrupting things. And he has the potential to be a better covering linebacker than potentially anybody on this roster. He doesn't have the speed or anything like that, but let me tell you, he disrupts passing lanes and finds ways to get interceptions. He has some really notable interceptions in college. He always keeps his arms up. If he's not in the play and can't get there, as soon as he sees that quarterback cock back, even if he's not looking his way, he puts his hands up. Just fundamental football. And it worked out for him so much in college, got bat downs, pass deflects, interceptions. So he has a knack for the ball. Now, he also comes from a football family. Some of us may have not have known this, but his father, James, was a former 5th-round pick in 1991's draft to the Atlanta Falcons. He was a defensive end out of Oklahoma. His uncle, Don, was a former 1st-round pick, number 15 overall to San Diego back in 1974 draft. He played 112 NFL games over 8 seasons, 6 with the Chargers and 2 with the Cleveland Browns. All right. So he has that in his family. A little bit about his early years background. He was actually a baseball player, and he was a darn good baseball player. But he decided in high school to solely focus on football. Now, after playing baseball for 10 years, it allowed him to go to Florida many times to play in tournaments, and he always wanted to come back to Florida to live. And now he gets his chance to, because the Miami Dolphins drafted him, so he'll be where he said he wanted to live eventually. So that's always a good thing. So hopefully he makes a mark, earns his way, gets a roster spot, and he can thrive to the point to where we feel like he can relieve us from a big contract in the future. Relieve us from a big contract in the future. See, these are the investments, though, that nobody think about. These are the investments that go under the radar. These are the investments that Bill Belichick always hit on. Nobody would ever in their right mind say that this kid will start over Jalen Phillips. Not even me. And I know I'm wild sometimes. But 2 years, 3 years from now, this could be the exact same type of player that if he balls out enough to where we're saying to ourselves, Jalen Phillips, congratulations. Thank you for your service. Go get your big contract somewhere else. We're going to trade you for a 1st-round pick and let this kid play. That's what the goal is, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you run a successful team, where you can continue to revolve great talent in and out, and you can afford to play a quarterback big bucks if it comes to that, whether it's somebody else or Tua that gets the big contract. This is the only way you're able to afford it. You need guys like this to learn behind the starter, but keep getting better and hopefully play so well that they're taking over for the starter, and we trade the starter for a 1st-round pick and save the money and give this guy his next deal, which ain't even half of what the other guy would have got. This is how you do it. Somebody said, how about keep them both, TD? Not at the same position. They both play the same position. So you don't keep them both. And why keep them both? Because they both will be due money at some point if they both ball out. You can't pay everybody, ladies and gentlemen. This is where the rubber meets the road. You got to make a tough decision at some point. They're dealing with that right now with Zach Zeiler and Christian Wilkins. Maybe they get the deal done. Maybe they don't. Maybe they trade them. We don't know. We're going to sit back and wait. Man, hopefully they get the deal done. I like Christian, but I don't see where we drop off if they don't. This is where you got to make this is where you stay a good team forever. Stuff like this. And hopefully this kid becomes one of those guys that plays so well that eventually he deserves to move up in the starting role and the starter gets to move on. Give me a second. My bad. But I know people don't like to hear that, but you want a dynasty or you just want a good team on occasions and trying to win something? This is how dynasties are built. You need that backup guy to develop into a starting caliber guy so you save money and acquire an asset from the starter. It's what it is, man. So hopefully this guy develops over the next few years and gets better and better and becomes a force on the edge. He has the knack for it. He has the intangibles. Let's see what this coaching staff can do to coach him up and get him in that role. So overall, ladies and gentlemen, I truly do believe he could make the final 53-man roster because number one, as of right now, he has no competition outside of undrafted free agents, and we drafted him, so he has the leg up. And this is the first year I think that we're going to go 8 linebackers instead of 7. Last year we went 7 linebackers and we did like 6 corners and 5 safeties. Whether it's a corner or safety position, I think this year we go 6 linebackers. I mean 8 linebackers instead of 7, and one of those areas will be reduced by 1. I think that's going to be the dynamic this year. So Van Ginkel is not Jalen Phillips. Not sure what you're talking about. You know what? And I'm glad that you said that. Did I say that he played no, Sam? No, Van Ginkel is not Jalen Phillips. Van Ginkel plays the wheel. He's on the weak side. And Jalen Phillips is on the strong side. He plays the Sam. So they're not the same position. Those are 2 opposite sides of the field. Andrew Van Ginkel, even right now, is listed as the starting wheel. And Jalen Phillips is the starting Sam. So this guy will be backing up. And hold on, let me see. Let me pull this up. Yes, and he'll be backing up Jalen Phillips as the Sam. So, and there is no competition at that position. And right now, Andrew Van Ginkel, the backup is Darius Hodge at the wheel. So I'm not even sure he'll make it. Right now, Landon Roberts is the left inside linebacker starting with Channing Tyndale as the backup for now. And we'll see what camp brings. Jerome Baker on the right side with Duke Riley as his backup. Right now, the third string in the linebacker room is Brennan Scarlett, Sam McGuavin, and Calvin Munson. So we'll see. How are the new headphones, TD? Well, these ain't new. Yeah, I've had these for probably a year and a half, 2 years now. I need to actually get some new headphones. I saw some nice one JBL makes for about 100 that I've been checking out. I might order soon. All right. So thanks for everybody that donate to the channel. Appreciate that. If they play the Sam or Mike. TD, thanks. The roster doesn't indicate if they play the Sam or Mike. Yeah. Right now, Jalen Phillips listed as the Sam, Andrew Van Ginkel as the wheel. And for those who don't understand those terms, strong and weak. Strong side linebacker, weak side linebacker. Ooh, crap. We just passed the 2:00 mark. All right. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I got sidetracked. The news just came in. I was waiting on this so I can know what I need to do with my stocks. The Fed just raised the rate by 0.5 point. Many speculated 0.25, but no, they went a full 0.5 point. Man, that's definitely going to have a huge impact. So I need to move some assets around. But let me see if it's. I'll do that in a second. But anyway, but yes, keep Jaden Phillips. He's a gem. Yeah, he's a gem. But like I said, what happens if you see? Is a first round pick a gem? Nick Needham's a gem. Zach Zeiler's a gem. Guys that you didn't have to spend a big asset on to get. Aren't those gems? Right? Those are gems to me. The rest of those guys, not so much in my opinion. They're what they're supposed to be. What you expect them to be. It's what we're hoping Noah could be. What we're hoping Tua could be. Like just what they were supposed to be drafted where they were drafted. Gems you don't spend as much. Shout out to D-Dub. I ain't seen you in a minute, man. Look for put options on tech stocks, TD. Oh, I know it. I know it, man. Listen, man. I already have a lot of it in. So I'll be watching over the next week or two. And as they tank, I'm out. It should be fun. But we'll see. Tools Foods go. Zach Thomas was a gem. Waddle a gem. If we get a deal, if he balls. Man, again, gems are the guys that you don't have to spend capital or an asset on to acquire, and they play as if you should have spent assets on them to get them. You know, it's like getting Tyreek level play from Preston Williams. That's a gem. All right. My bad. But anywho, man, I wanted to go ahead and introduce y'all to Cameron Goode. I think he's a good edge rusher, getting at the quarterback, tackling in the backfield, which is good for the run game, sets the edge very well. I'm really interested to see how his development goes. Y'all might look up and we might have a guy. We might have a guy. So time will tell. We'll see what this means reflecting on the field. I got another stream today. So I got a busy day. I got a big stream coming up. I know I don't have the time now because I got to leave in 30 minutes, and this might be like a hour and a half, 2-hour stream. So I may be able to do it when I get back from taking my son from school. We'll see. If not, then stay tuned. 7 p.m. AFC East Roundtable on Dan Mitchell's channel. Y'all be there to back me up. And at 8:30, we got Miss Fins on the night show here at TDPHINSTALK. So get ready for that as well. We're going to have us such a great day, man. So I'm going to try my hardest when I get back from taking my son from school around 3:30 or 4 o'clock. Hopefully, I ain't going to guarantee it because I'll be wrong sometimes. To do the stream that I want to do because I was saving it, but it's time. It's time. I'm ready to talk about this team as a whole before I get into the players that they can still add. No. We'll see. I'll wait. If anything, I'll come back and we'll talk about the players that we can still add on this roster that can help us be a complete team. All right, y'all. I'm finna get up out of here. This is TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Love y'all so much. See you soon. Peace. I am out.